Hey, Tori in Austin, Texas. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses with anti-glare for your Michael Kors model number 8003, color 3006, and the 51 eye size. Let me take everything out. Of course, your white leather Michael Kors case, your Michael Kors cleaning cloth. Take that, I'll show that to you. It's brand new, it's stiff. Okay, that's that. Let me tuck that back inside the case. And of course, this is your Michael Kors frame with the little plastic sleeve on the temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. And of course, you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging, including your demo lenses, one of which it says Michael Kors. Now, you emailed me that this logo is what's going to match your purse, your brown leather purse, and this is going to be matching all the way. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to take out your original demo lenses, and of course, again, you're going to receive all the manufacturer's original packaging. And I'm going to take your Michael Kors frame and I'm going to put it into my computer, and I'm going to trace the shape of the lens. Hang on here. Now we're going to begin tracing. And so this little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Michael Kors frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number on there, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars you're not using, you will be reimbursed from this purchase. Now, that is the shape of your lens that we're going to cut, just magnified. I can bring it down, and that's the shape that we're going to cut next. So let me go ahead and bring that back up to size. I'm going to take your lenses and we're going to go down to my lensometer, my good old trusty dusty Marco 101 lensometer. And let's see, your right eye is plano minus 1 1/4 at 174, plano minus 1 1/4 at 174. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 174. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve, put it on plano, which is another name for a city in Texas. Of course, you're in Austin, but plano is also the optical industry term for non-prescription. Well, zero power. You actually have an astigmatic correction, which I'll explain in just a moment. And I'm putting 3 dots on there. 1, 2, and 3 is that one, and that is your right lens. So I've written R on there. Let's do the same thing for your left lens, which is plano minus 50 at 180. So I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 0, which is also 180. A straight line is 0 to 180. Put your lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Everything looks good there. And let's go ahead and put 3 dots on your lenses. 1, 2, and 3. And L for not right. And let's come back down here. Put the right lens on there. Hopefully you can see those 3 dots that I put. I put those 3 dots on there because the lens has to be oriented just right. It gives me a 180 meridian. If your lens gets off center at all, you're just not going to see as well. So I'm going to put that onto the platform. Now, your pupillary distance for your right eye is 27.5. So I'm going to bring that number down to 27.5. And let's go ahead and get your right lens blocked. Now, when I say blocked, this is a block. Before I put the sticker on it, this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens. This is what's going to hold it in place while it is cutting. So I need to apply a double-sided adhesive sticker, to which I've done. And this little silver button on the back is a magnet that's going to hold it in place, but I'm going to pull the paper away to make that black side sticky. I'm going to line up that magnet, and I'm going to put those 3 dots. Now, this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your right eye is just inset from there. Hopefully you can see those lines. So I'm going to put that dot in the center, and then these other 2 dots line up on a 180 meridian, which is a straight line. I hit that button and the arm's going to come down and place the block onto your right lens. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for your left lens. The pupillary distance is 26.5. So I'm going to bring that down 1 more millimeter and we're at 26.5. I'm going to get those lined up. That dot is your optical center. It's going to sit dead center in front of your eye and your pupil, and then those two dots showed me it's in there straight. Let me pull the paper off this side and put the magnet in there. Hit that button, arm comes down and puts the block onto your left lens. Hang on, I need my flashlight. I need my flashlight. Keep that over here so it doesn't get lost. So the actual cutting wheel is on the inside. It's that wheel on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and take your right lens, put it into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up this computer. That's the shape of your lens. I am not going to polish it. I am not going to put a bevel on the front surface. I'm only going to put a very light bevel onto the back surface. And I'm going to hit start. The door closes. That clamp shuts. And then the lens is going to move up, and two white calipers are going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame. It's going all the way around, tracing the shape of your lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. And it's also measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel so it will fit best inside the frame. Now in just a moment, your wheel is going to drop down onto the lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel, and you will hear a grinding sound. If you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index cut wet. Now I mentioned that your lenses are polycarbonate, as you can see right here. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is also virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes that never needs to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every few hours when you're out in direct exposure to the sun. Not only are they thinner and lighter, bulletproof, unbreakable, all that stuff, blah, 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 but they're also aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. Spherical is completely round like a basketball. So not only are they thinner and lighter weight, but this front curvature is much flatter. A spherical lens is round and gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. When you look at people who buy cheap glasses, they have really round, fat, bulging lenses. This lens is much flatter and it's going to fit right along with the curvature of your frame. Now, when you buy prescription lenses online from other people, they charge you for plastic lenses. And then if you want the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable polycarbonate, you have to pay an upgrade fee for that. And then when you want the flatter curvature aspheric lenses with the best cosmetic value possible, you have to pay a third fee for that. So that is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free just by simply buying a frame from me. Now this Michael Kors frame sells for $145, and of course everyone gets a free pair of prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. Again, if you have vision insurance that you're not using and you just want a really nice, beautiful pair of high quality glasses to wear for fashion, again, forgive me for repeating myself, but my receipt has my federal ID tax number, so you can get reimbursed from your vision insurance or flex dollars simply by buying these prescription grade glasses with non-prescription fashion lenses in them. And of course, there is no charge for the lenses. You paid $40 to upgrade to the anti-glare coating. Now what the anti-glare coating does, let me straight on here, it's 3 features in one. The first feature is it eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. But the second feature is it's a reflection-free lens. You can see the fluorescent lights on this lens in this hand, but not as badly in that one. So when someone's looking at you, it makes for much better eye contact, or if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture of you with a flash, you don't see the flash lit up in your lens like you will with this one. You'll see just your eyes. And then the third feature that I like, which is the most practical side, is it comes with the best scratch coating in the business. It is a $1 million machine, and it takes 24 hours to literally vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So the lab puts the best scratch protection that they can to protect their time and money they have invested into making of your lenses. So I'm going to take your lens, pop it into the outside corner, and then push down the nose. It pops in easily. Let's go ahead and begin cutting your left lens. Flip that over to L and hit start. Just like before, the door closes, that clamp shuts, and then the 2 white calipers are going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame, so making sure the lens is large enough to go around, and it is. And again, it does it twice to measure the thickness of the lens at every single point, to know exactly where and precisely where to place the bevel so the lens fits best inside the frame and you have no edge thickness whatsoever, so you have the best cosmetic finish possible. So that is done. I'm going to go ahead and take this block off and dry that off. And of course, it's hard to see that red dot that's there, so I'm going to reapply that. I can barely see it, but I'm just going to darken that for a moment because I'll need to measure that later. And I'm going to put this back into my lensometer. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 174, and I'm going to check the prescription. Let me grab my flashlight, and I'm getting plano, which again is 0. Check your astigmatism correction, and we're getting -1 1/4. We're in the red. That's why that is a -1 1/4. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, and it's spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, and it starts at 0 and goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, and so on. So for each eye, both your right, which is on top, and your left that's on the bottom, you actually need no magnification or minification. Without your glasses on, everything is the correct size. All of your prescription is what's known as astigmatic. You have astigmatism. Now, there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. Astigmatism is what makes things look blurry. That's why 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F, and that's why you squint to try and make things off at a distance. You're trying to change the shape of your eye by squinting, and yes, you do. It's like squeezing a little water balloon. It changes the shape of it. So you need 5 steps of correction to make everything clear at a distance in your right eye. You only need 2 steps in your left. Now think of astigmatism correction as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that knob to 174. A straight line is 0 to 180, with 90 being in the middle. So we're going to turn that fine-tune knob past 90, almost all the way to 180. We're at 174 for your right eye, and we actually are going to turn it all the way to 180 on your left. So that is it. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. The astigmatism, this number it can be anywhere from 0 to 180. It just tells us where to turn to correct for the 5 steps of astigmatism in your right eye and the 2 steps of astigmatism correction in your left. So the reason why we ended up at -1 1/4, we started at 0 and we did -1 1/4, -5 steps. So if someone had borrowed $1.25 from you, they would owe you, you'd be in the red, -125, and that is where we're at. So if your right eye, we're at -125, your left eye, we're only going to be at -50. So I'm going to take your left lens out, dry everything off. What did I do with your frame? Here it is. Let's go ahead and get the left lens mounted. I'm going to take this out, tuck it in at the corner, press down at the thumb. That snaps in there perfectly. Take the block and remove that. And of course, hopefully you can still see that red dot. Let me go ahead and darken that again, just so you can see. That is your optical centers. I'm going to place this axis wheel back to 0, which again is 180. 0 to 180, a straight line is the same number. Put it in, and I am reading plano, which again is 0. And then we're at -50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. So that is made perfectly. Your pupillary distance is 27.5 in your right eye and 26.5 in your left. Let's see, 27 and 27 is 52. That's what I've done. I've added the 0.5 to that one and made 227. So your pupillary distance is 52. I'm going to hold the, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved, or I would have studied. But I'm going to place the 0 on my thumb against your right lens. And then when we look on your left lens, we're getting 52 millimeters, so that is made perfectly. I am going to, now's the time in every video that I explain that, Tori, when you get these in the mail, and by the way, free shipping anywhere in the United States, but when you get these in the mail, there's a very small chance that this frame could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And not only are you going to be getting your Michael Kors cleaning cloth, I'm going to throw in one of mine, and all the ladies get a pink one. The guys, I won't tell you what color you get. You'll just have to be surprised. But because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I am no different, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your local optical shop and just tell them if it's too loose, too tight, or high on one side. They'll know what to do. It only takes about 30 seconds to adjust a pair of glasses. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I'm part of the 80%. I have one ear that is higher than the other, so that's why mine wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly and none of them are askew, and the same amount of tension on each hinge, and there is. So that's that. So Tori in Austin, Texas. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with anti-glare for your Michael Kors. Hopefully the camera's good enough to pick this up. I apologize if it's not. The model number 8003. This is color 3006 in the 51 eye size. I hope you enjoyed watching as I made your glasses. If anyone else has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.